It happened in seconds. No storm, no engine failure, no mechanical fault, just one human mistake that cost Delta Airlines nearly $70,000 in a single moment. Inside a Delta Airbus A220 at Pittsburgh International Airport, everything was calm. Passengers were boarding. The cabin crew followed their usual pre-flight checks, but as the aircraft door closed, one flight attendant made a small, almost invisible mistake. Instead of disarming the door, she opened it. A loud bang echoed through the cabin. Then, chaos. The aircraft's emergency slide, a high-pressure inflatable chute designed for life-or-death evacuations, exploded out of the side of the plane, unfurling across the tarmac like a silver serpent. Within seconds, the entire gate went into lockdown. The flight was grounded, and Delta's operations team realized what had just happened. One simple error had just triggered a six-figure disaster. But this wasn't sabotage or inexperience. It was something far more human. October 25, 2025, Delta Flight 5203 was ready to leave Pittsburgh for Salt Lake City. The forward door, known as 1L, was still armed. That means the emergency slide system was activated, ready to deploy if opened. The flight attendant, following routine duties, pulled the door handle too early. The system did exactly what it was built to do. It fired the slide. A whoosh louder than thunder, a gust of air, and a 90-foot inflatable tube exploded outside the aircraft. No one was hurt, but the financial damage had already begun. So, how much can one inflated slide actually cost? The emergency evacuation slide isn't just rubber and air. It's a complex, military-grade safety system with pressure cylinders, automatic triggers, and reinforced materials. Replacing one can cost between $50,000 and $70,000, not including installation or recalibration, and that's before adding the hidden costs. Repacking the slide, another $20,000, crew overtime and rescheduling passenger, hotel stays, missed connections, a 4-hour delay that rippled across. Delta's flight network one wrong pull, and the company lost enough money to buy a brand new luxury car every minute the flight was grounded. But for Delta, the cost wasn't just financial, it was reputational. Passengers sat waiting, confused and restless. Announcements echoed through the cabin: mechanical delay, please remain seated. Outside, engineers worked to detach the inflated slide from the door. Ground crews had to bring in heavy equipment to deflate, remove, and safely store it. The flight, originally scheduled for 5:30 p.m., didn't take off until nearly 9:11 p.m. 4 hours of frustration, dozens of missed connections, thousands in extra expenses. Meanwhile, headlines began to spread. Delta, flight attendant's mistake costs airline $70,000. The story went viral, but here's what makes this incident so surprising. It wasn't a rookie mistake. The flight attendant responsible wasn't new to the job. She had 26 years of experience at Delta II, and a half-decades of perfect service undone by a single, split-second oversight. Investigators later determined it wasn't negligence, just human error, fatigue, stress, distraction, all possible factors. Delta's spokesperson called it an unfortunate accident and confirmed no passengers were in danger. But among airline professionals, it reignited a serious debate. If even a 26-year veteran can make this kind of mistake, how safe are the systems that rely solely on human memory under pressure? To answer that, we need to understand what really happens when a door is armed. Modern airliners have two door states: armed and disarmed. When armed, the emergency slide is connected to the door mechanism. When disarmed, it's detached. Before every takeoff, attendants arm the door. Before every arrival, they must disarm it. It's a simple process, but done hundreds of times per week. Across thousands of flights, fatigue and repetition can blur precision. One missed verbal check, one early handle pull, and the system reacts instantly. In the world of aviation safety, small errors don't stay small. They inflate literally. But there's a bigger cost than the price of the slide. The aviation industry calls this kind of event an ISD, inadvertent slide deployment. It's rare, but not unheard of. Airlines spend millions on training, but human factors, stress, repetition, distraction always find a way back in. Every mistake becomes a case study. Every deployment means hours of retraining, new safety reminders, and added checklists. Because behind the data and dollar signs are real people flight attendants who dedicate decades to safety, but carry the burden of perfection every single day. And while critics mock the cost, Delta quietly learned a six-figure lesson in humility. Other airlines took notice. Safety directors issued reminders. Airbus engineers began reevaluating slide arming systems to prevent accidental triggers. Because what happened in Pittsburgh isn't just a Delta problem, it's a warning for everyone in aviation. In a world of flawless technology, the most expensive mistakes are still made by humans. But here's the irony. That same humanity, the instinct to protect, to serve, to ensure passenger safety is what makes aviation one of the safest industries on Earth. And that brings us to the moral hidden inside the money.